Okay, so hello and welcome. It's Leon Street back again. And in today's video, I'm talking about how to promote your business, even if you fear others' opinions of you and haters. And so, if this is the first time you are, I guess, experiencing me on your screen, I want to share with you that there's a lot of videos that I've actually put out previously, and I'd love for you to join me over on YouTube. Do remember you can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me over here on Instagram as well as Facebook and LinkedIn. And I just want to let you know there's already over 200 videos on the YouTube channel. So simply head to leonstreet.com/YouTube and you'll be redirected to the YouTube channel where you can get, as I said, over 200 videos of great content covering marketing, sales, business development, and mindset. But let me get into this. So today's topic, I'm talking about how to get over, I guess, the fear of, other people's opinions, the fear of rejection. And I've got a couple of great stories that I want to share with you from client experiences on how they overcame their fear of rejection and also what actually happened in their business as a result of it. And I see quite often a lot of successful people. Well, let me get this right. I see a lot of potentially successful business owners and they hold themselves back because of the fear of other people's opinions, the fear of rejection, the fear of self-promotion, the fear of being judged, and the fear of, I guess, being ridiculed to some extent. And it's a bit of a shame, really, because in the world of business, you're here to make a difference. And unfortunately, these fears, I guess they take precedent for a lot of people. They take priority, and they pull people off the tracks of being a success. They pull people off, I guess, the direction and the path of fulfilling on their dreams. And usually their dreams aren't just reserved for themselves. Their dreams will affect their family, their friends, their community, and I guess the wider, audience that they're serving, especially if you're a coach, consultant, and you help many people, or you have the ability to help many people. And this is a shame. It's a big shame because I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of gifted people who settle for, I guess, an alternative life, a second-rate life, because they're not living up to their full potential. And it doesn't mean that it's good or bad. It just means that, I guess, in many respects, it's a choice that they could have made to go with something that they found, fully fulfilling their potential, fulfilling, whatever it has or they have within them as their calling. And this is the point that I want to get across. So I'm going to dive into this a little bit more. If you got any questions as I go any further into this about how to overcome the fear of others as you promote and self-promote your business, just let me know. Just drop a comment below this video. If you guys are watching over here on Instagram, if you've got any questions, any comments about how to promote your business, even if you have a fear of other people's opinions, just drop your comment below. For those of you on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, just drop your comments below this video as you see. And give me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on a replay, or a hashtag live if you're watching live. So let me get into this a bit more and just kind of digging deeper. So if these are the fears, rejection, self-promotion, being judged and being ridiculed, let's go into a bit more, well, what's behind that. And there's a little bit of research that I found for you. And for those of you on Instagram, if you're not watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, I am screen sharing. There's a few slides that I usually put out, especially around research, and a few things that I want you guys to share. But let me just share this bit of research with you. The fear of rejection often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is well known in popular psychology, that confidence enhances attractiveness. Confidence enhances attractiveness. So that means it enhances attractiveness to your audience too. Let me carry on. As a general rule, the lack of self-confidence that is inherent in a fear of rejection makes us more likely to be rejected. So the more we fear rejection, the more likely we are going to be rejected. So research shows that confidence is nearly as important as intelligence in determining our income level, which is crazy. So when you start looking at it, if you have a fear of self-promotion, putting yourself out there, promoting your business, making a difference, doing good in the world, which is what all comes with promoting yourself, you actually become less attractive because you have this fear, which is I know it kind of blows the mind, and hopefully that research was done by Judge T.A. Hurst, C. Simon Ellis. If any of you want the links to the research, I can provide that to you afterwards. Just comment below. But here's the cool thing about this: like, we know the answer, which is if we increase our confidence, actually we become more attractive. Therefore, we appeal more to the very people we want to connect more with, which is our target audience, which is our niche. And this is why, for me, I see a lot of wasted potential in people who are truly gifted. They have skills, they have a gift to change people's lives, to make a difference in this world. And just because of being judged, that holds them back. So what I want to do is just kind of dive into a few steps of what you can do to go forward. And I'm going to go into a story as well. So what I'm going to do, I'll kick off with one story, and I'll come back to the conclusion after I've gone through the steps that I want to guide you through. So hopefully this makes sense and everybody's following. So the fear of rejection. So I had one client, actually it's a one-on-one client. So it's one of my long-standing clients, and I won't mention any names just to keep privacy in place. But I want to share the journey because it's such an amazing story. And like I said, it's a one-on-one client. So I tend to spend a lot of time with this client. I have a vested interest in their business now. Based on results we get in the business, it affects me. So that's what I want to share with you. And it's so powerful. So about 7 years ago, this person comes to me. And at the time, I was still running my marketing agency. I wasn't a fully fledged marketing coach like I am now. At the time, I was kind of dabbling. I was dipping my toes in the water, but I wouldn't call myself like a fully fledged coach. But I was definitely making a difference and helping people. So anyway, this person comes to me and they say, "Hey, Leon," they tell me about their goals. And at the time, it's just them in their business, small business owner, local to the city where I am actually. So it's not like an international client or anything like that, or a client away from my city. So they find me, they reach out to me, they tell me about their goals. And so at that point, I say, great, here is what you can do in order to grow your business to the level that you've shared with me. And right at the very beginning, the person tells me that they have a fear of promoting themselves, self-promotion. And this is why this story is so amazing. And if you guys can relate, just give me a thumbs up. Because the next part of the story is really cool. So anyway, I remember it because I'm in this meeting. I remember my old office where I used to be on this trading estate. It's like an industrial estate. So anyway, I say to the person, you will have to promote yourself, and there are different things we'll need to do in order to raise your brand for the business and your personal brand. And I said, the first thing that we can do is just simply raise the brand of the business, because it was a service business. But anyway, the person sitting there, I'm just making sure I choose my words right, so I'm not saying whether it's him or her. But anyway, they say, okay, that makes sense. I'll be willing to, go with your advice, and I trust you. And that was a real powerful thing. And remember what I just shared with you a moment ago. Confidence is what makes you attractive, because I was very confident in my approach and my delivery, and saying to this person, look, we can definitely make your business number one within our particular region, which is in the West Midlands in the UK. It's a pretty big region. And the person follows the instruction, and fast forward to 3 years, they become number one within the West Midlands for the service they deliver. This person then has, I think, around about 10 people working in his business within those 3 years, just literally just following what I've told the person to promote themselves and put themselves out there. And along the journey, there were different fears that my client came back to me with. Oh, should I do this? What happens if I do that? And so on and so forth. Basically, fear of being judged, fear of haters, fear of being ridiculed. But here's the really cool thing about confidence. As the brand started to grow and it started to appear more, it became prominent, and the business grew and became more successful, the person's confidence grew. And so what actually happened is they became more attractive to their audience, and they started to embody the reason why they wanted to deliver the services that they deliver and the impact that they wanted to create in the community. So that was after 3 years. And what happened was, at the time, we were growing the YouTube channel for the business, and it started to kind of take off. And we hit this kind of critical point after this 3-year period. And the critical point was we, as in me and my client, we could see an opportunity, but it would come further down the line. So this is 3 years in. Remember, this client has been with me 7 years. But anyway, so we got to this critical point, the 3-year point, and then the story gets nuts, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. So I'm going to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger if you want to know what happens and where we're at right now. But what I want to do is share with you the steps that you can take that I guided my client through in order to be able to promote yourself and put yourself out there, not fear being judged, not fear, fear in itself. So let me give you those steps. And before I do, anybody who's watching live or on a replay, do you want to know the conclusion of the story I've just started to share with you? Just give me a comment. Just give me a yes. You don't have to give me a full yes, Leon. I really would love to know what actually happens. Just give me a yes in the comments, just so I know that you're paying attention, you're really into the story. Anyway, here's the steps that you can use. That when it comes to marketing, you can choose the type of marketing that's suitable for you. So if you genuinely do have a fear of self-promotion, and for instance, I know a lot of people fear video, and video will feature in the story I'm going to share about my clients in a moment. Perhaps you don't need to get into video straight away. There's different things you can do. You can create posts, blogs, articles. You can run ads with images and so on and so forth. If you do fear video, what you can do is create, for instance, like I'm sharing slides right now, but there's a lot of people who create videos where they don't have their face on camera. They just share slides. It's like a webinar or VSL. They share the content and they narrate. So they just talk over the slides. I had an experience with one of my other one-on-one clients just a week ago, another big business. They have a number of team members. And what I found is people also had a fear of hearing their own voice. They didn't like the sound of their own voice. So if that's you as well, creating images, posts, articles, that kind of thing can just get you moving, get the wheels, moving so that you've got momentum. But eventually you're going to have to bite the bullet and then look at obviously video, but we'll get to that later on. By the time you get to video and you've done all the other things, you'll be more confident. But choose the types of marketing that are good for you, the types of marketing where you share stories, the types of marketing where you share tips, helpful anecdotes, different things that people can implement. So rather than self-promotion, like how great I am or how great your business is and the difference that you've made, if you don't feel good about really going to that place of promoting the good that you've done, because that is a real thing. A lot of people fear sharing good because they feel like they shouldn't be. And I guess in British society, which where I'm based in the UK, that's a thing. If you go to America, I know they're less conservative, let's say. Unfortunately, I've been able to break down my conservative, I guess, societal tracks that I've picked up along the years. But anyway, we'll get into that another time. So here's the thing. Choose the types of marketing that are suitable for you, but do marketing. That's key. What's the next step that you can use to go forward? Your why and your message. This is perhaps the biggest thing. When you got into your business, you probably got into your business because you had a belief, you had, a purpose, you had a reason why you'd get out of bed, whether it was your family, your children, your wife, your husband, or your community, or the people that you're going to impact who are going to buy your services. When you make your marketing and your business about your purpose, you stop focusing on your fears because you focus on creating the difference, being the difference, and showing up. And that's probably one of the most powerful things that you can do to overcome the fear of putting yourself out there, self-promotion, because you stop making it about you. You make it about the people's lives that you're going to change. And that's the best and the most effective thing that you can do. Your why. Therefore, once you understand what your why is and the reason why you're doing it, that's where your message comes from. So your message comes from a place of empathy. If you can connect your message to empathy, you win, hands down. And your fears around self-promotion will eventually evaporate to almost zero. And the reason why I say that is because by the time you put your message out there, people will resonate with your message, the people who need to, and people will connect with it, and your confidence will increase. And so eventually you'll get over that fear. What else can you do to move forward? If you are putting yourself out there, marketing your business, what you've got to understand, in order to deliver on your vision, deliver on your goals, marketing has to be your duty. Self-promotion or promoting yourself has to be your duty, because without it, your message doesn't get out there. People don't know you exist. People can't buy from you because they don't know you exist. And again, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's why marketing has to be your duty, but connect it to your purpose and your why. And that way it will feel right. It won't feel like you're doing it with no purpose. Yeah. And that's the whole point of purpose, so that there is, something there, the substance. The next step that you can do to move forward is detach yourself from your fears. Yeah, your fears are internal, and usually your fears are related to different things that have happened to you, usually from childhood and different experiences. Some might be traumatic, some might not be, and you've just created this fear around it. Perhaps it's different things, like, for instance, let's say you had a fear because when you were younger, you spoke up in school, you had to read a page out of a book in English class, like we all had to do. And the teacher says, "Hey, Leon, can you stand up and read from page 200? And now you've got all of the eyes of your class looking at you, these young teenagers, or even if you want to go younger in primary school, and you don't want to get the words wrong because people start laughing and sniggering. And, we don't want to feel that, right? Being judged and being ridiculed, all of those types of things. And that's what the fear comes from. It comes from those experiences, usually when we're younger. So if you want to do more work around that, what you can do is do more internal work, more mindset work, in order to detach yourself from those fears. The next step you can do is that, really, when you look at it, people aren't paying as much attention as you think. Yeah. You might be thinking, the world and their dog is watching you, but the reality, they're not. The people who need your help and want to hear your message and need the solutions that you offer are the ones who are paying attention. And that's who you've got to do it for. And that way, when you focus on that, you get the results, and eventually you get over the fear, because again, your confidence will grow. So when you promote yourself, when you do self-promotion, what happens? What I'm going to do is conclude the story that I was telling you earlier, for those of you that wanted to hear the conclusion. So anyway, after the 3-year mark, we hit this pivotal point with my client. And the pivotal point is that we could see the opportunity to grow his audience, and in particular on YouTube. And so what we did, we doubled down with a plan for growth on YouTube, how we were going to promote and publish videos. But second with that, we were going to launch a brand new online course. And so we put together the plan, and then we put the start date, and we got it going. And so we create this online course, and it wasn't like a megabucks high ticket course. It was literally a low ticket offer, pre-recorded course that my client literally had to record once, and then it was literally hands off. So we start building, the channel starts growing. We move from 30,000 subscribers, and I'm going to bring you right up to date, where the channel now has something like 340,000 subscribers. The YouTube channel is responsible for most of the traffic that goes to the sales page that we set up for this course. It's literally just a hands-off course. People go there, they buy, and they get instant access to the course. And because my client took those great, amazing steps to just trust in me and trust in my experience to promote himself, even though he had this strong fear, starting to reveal a bit now, I just realized, this strong fear about putting the message out there. What actually happened was it turned into an amazing business, where the business now generates somewhere in the region of about 6 figures a month. Yeah. And that's the course, just the online course. Since then, because of the success of the online course, he's been able to invest in 2 other businesses. So he's grown his original business, and instead of having 10 employees, he now has around about 35. And then the final part of that is he's been able to take some of the funds that have been generated and invest in property and set up a property business. So the point that I want to get to is that if you let the fear of rejection, the fear of other people's opinions, the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of haters, and whatever other fear you've got of what will happen if you put yourself out there and self-promote, get in your way, and get in the way of the gifts that you have to give to this world, you'll never truly know what your potential is. And what I can tell you about my client and the story that I shared with you, if I took my client back to the very first meeting we had and asked my client, do you think it would be possible to get to where you are now I can tell you hand on heart, and I know this because we've discussed this many times, me and my client, that there's no way they thought that they would have got to where they are right now. No way. Yeah, it like where they are right now is literally dreamland. Yeah. And this is the cool thing, guys. If you can get over your own fears, and if you can truly show up and put your message out there, and just stay consistent and create, people say discipline. It's not even like you have to be 100% disciplined. You use the 80-20 principle. Yeah. And just show up. Eventually it will pay off. And that is my message today. If you have the fear of self-promotion and putting yourself out there, just do it anyway, guys. You will surprise yourself. And that's what I want to leave you on. I had a few other examples that I was going to share with you from some other clients about, what they've done. I'm just going to skip through those examples because I just don't need to show you, because I think the story that I've just shared with you, like my client is literally on or in a 7-figure business. Yeah. And it's just miles away from where my client was 7 years ago. And for me, that's just amazing. And I'm part of that journey, right? Which is, what a good coach would love to be part of. And fortunately for me, I have a number of those clients. So here's the thing, guys. If you do want help, if you'd like to increase your presence online and overcome, your fear of putting yourself out there, or you just want to be able to market and promote yourself in the right way, just comment below this video with the word promote. I will reach out to you and send you more details on how I can help you to do that. And final thing for today, guys, if you've enjoyed the content, please do remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to leonstreet.com/YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to check out the content, click on the notification bell for those of you on YouTube. And I just want to say, guys, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed the content today and the little bits of story that I shared with you. And until the next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.